So hi, welcome to this podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with,
I'm Nick.
And Brent, and we are Eight Graves.
and we're gonna ask them some questions today about the new EP, Everyday Oblivion. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to it so far?
I felt pretty good about it. Well, how do you feel? Yeah.
It feels great. Yeah, everyone's digging it.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for us is that we have finally arrived at a point where we're really, obviously you always appreciate when people give a positive response and when people are like excited about it and people are like, oh, this song's sick, or, you know, the whole thing is great or whatever it might be. But the biggest thing is I think we're arriving at a point where we are a lot less affected by what people may or may not think about what we've done. You know, for us, it's a lot more about making songs that we're proud of, not feeling like we're chasing something that we've done before, but instead making new songs that have different sounds, different feels, different emotions. You know, for a while, I think we were kind of trying to chase this one thing because we're like, this is our lane and this is kind of like what we do. And instead on this record, I really think that we allowed ourselves to experiment and like get out of the box and just like do whatever came naturally to us and just make songs.
And that's what felt good. That's what feels good about the whole process, was being able to like turn it on its head. And Brett and I were able to have conversations with each other about like, you know, let's just throw everything out the window and start from scratch. And what kind of music do we like to listen to, and just make new stuff, you know, get out of the, you know, the stereotype maybe that we may have had, you know, EDM, alt rock type thing, just kind of pushing boundaries, you know? So it felt really good.
Yeah.
I said this when we talked about the EP and even the singles that were leading up to it and everything, but I'll say it directly to your face too. This is your best work, hands down.
Thank you.
Like, I saw you guys in Jersey. Obviously, we met up, all that shit. I was pissed that Cannonball wasn't on the set list because that's like your best song, hands down.
Thanks,
like you guys missed it there. Next tour, it's got to be on the set list.
You saw how it was, dude. We squeezed 9 songs into 30 minutes.
It was
oh my God.
crazy. Yeah, you guys played more songs than Never Loved Him. Like, how the fuck did you nonstop, banger after banger? But next tour, if Cannonball's not on there, I'm coming up to the merch table. I'm yelling at you guys because you got Cannonball.
You can hold me accountable.
Yeah, you got to put it on there, man.
It's always tough. Like the funny thing is now, you know, when we play opening set, we have 30 minutes. We have like 39 songs, you know, and it's like, we love all of them. And it's like, no matter what we do at this point, some stuff that we love gets cut, you know, like not everything can make it, which sucks. And we thought Cannonball would be fun to play live, just kind of upbeat and, you know, danceable. But it's like, it just gets down to those last couple of songs and you have some hard choices to make. And that's the unfortunate position of being in that opening slot, you know, as grateful as we are for the opportunity and as much fun as we had and as amazing of an experience as it is. You know, it always hurts to cut some of your babies from the set list, you know.
Sure.
Yeah,
always a thing.
So is there any meaning behind the EP name Everyday Oblivion and the cover art?
Yes. So basically all of these songs really were kind of seeded, like, you know, they kind of began when I was in lockdown and, you know, obviously it's something we all experienced. And I was tentative to like make a song that's like about COVID, because I think it's going to be so overdone. No one wants to talk about it anymore, right? Like it's over. But I did think an interesting, and even though it's not over, but you know what I mean? Like the talking about it is over. Yeah. Exactly. But I think like there was a point where I was in lockdown, you know, Nick was in lockdown. We were kind of separate from each other. I was in a house by myself completely. I had the only company that I had every once in a while was my girlfriend, who's awesome. At the time, she worked in a hospital. So we were playing it like kind of safe, like, hey, you know, like, you know, when can we see each other? How comfortable do we feel? So I was spending like weeks sometimes with like zero human contact. And the way that I kind of got through it was I would wake up, I'd make myself breakfast, I would work out, I would do my Spanish lesson on Duolingo. I would do my guitar lesson on the Fender app. If you're trying to learn to play guitar, download it. It's awesome. You know, I just kind of created this routine where I would do like the same thing, like again and again and again and again. And in the midst of doing what were these very mundane kind of regular tasks, I'm like, I have the TV on in the background with like, it literally had, I remember at one point on one of the news networks, they literally had a ticker of like how many people are dying. Exact, dude.
Yeah.
So it was like, now there's this many dead, now there's this many dead, and it was like, oh my god,
I'm not going
so
outside. Yeah.
No,
So
yeah.
it's kind of this weird thing where I'm doing like these everyday kind of normal things, like, oh, I'm taking a Spanish lesson while like the world is ending, you know, and that's how it felt. And I just, you know, kind of came up with the phrase everyday oblivion. And we were talking about, what do you want to call the EP? And I had mentioned to Nick and to our manager, Mike, like, I think I want to call it this. And I think both of them at first, and Nick, don't let me speak for you, but I think both of them at first were kind of like, I don't know.
No, I loved it right away. No,
Did you? Was it so? It was Mike.
Yeah, that kind of like was the umbrella for the whole thing, even before a song was written.
Yeah,
it's a concept you had, and we kind of just were like fitting into that notion, and I loved it off the bat. Yeah, I wanted a song actually to be called Everyday Oblivion.
Yeah, and the song was actually made after, and the song kind of, you know, we wrote a song, and I was like, ooh, this could be the one.
Yeah,
like this could be the one that has.
You were sitting right here when we wrote it.
Yeah, I was.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was like the feel of it. So it was just about like this feeling of kind of trying to go on with your everyday kind of normal life while also experiencing this like kind of catastrophic, you know, everything around the world. It wasn't just COVID. It was stuff that was happening politically, and, you know, all of the stuff with, you know, the new push for, I shouldn't say new because it's clearly not new, but this explosion of visibility for civil rights movements and for people speaking out for, you know, those kind of issues. And it just felt like there was so much civil unrest. There was so much death and disease. And it was just like, oh my God, like there's so much happening. And they're just like, come on, just keep going to work, keep doing, you know. And I was like, this is so fragmented and unhealthy. And I just thought it was like a very powerful kind of moment. God willing, I'll never see anything like that again in my life. So that's kind of where Everyday Oblivion came from. And you know, then we just wrote a couple songs that kind of fit that bill, you know?
Yeah. And the cover art.
Oh, duh.
No, it's fine.
So Nick and I spent all this time curating like this big, I did like mock-ups in Procreate and the whole nine about like what we wanted the art to be.
That was a completely different idea, actually.
Yeah. And we had been working with our friend Wei, who had been our graphic designer for most of the existence of Eight Grace. He actually made the original logo, has done a ton of great work for us. But he got a full-time gig and was expecting his second child at the time, who was now arrived. And he was just like, dude, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So we Rupert Gruber, who did the art for all these songs and for the EP. And we were he had hit us up a while ago and was like, hey guys, I love your music. If you're ever looking for somebody to like do something, I'd love to work with you. So we were like, maybe Rupert will do it. You know, we hit him up. We're like, hey dude, short notice, got to do it in like 2 weeks, you know? And he was like, I got you, no problem. And we sent him all these ideas, but we were kind of like, do whatever you want with it.
Yeah,
and
which he did.
He just literally scrapped everything I did and threw out the windows. But the feeling that I get looking at the art, and when I talk to Rupert, kind of the way that we've interpreted it is like you could be doing something that's like a normal everyday thing, and then a tragedy can happen out of nowhere. So it's like, you know, it's this juxtaposition of something that's like pretty goofy and joyous in like roller skating, right? Like what's like more benign and fun and goofy than that. And then, you know, obviously like, you know, the blood and a parent being hit by a car, whatever. So it's kind of like this juxtaposition of, again, what we were talking about with the whole EP title, which is like this normalcy and then like tragedy, like happening kind of at the same time. And I think that he did a really roundabout, interesting way of capturing that I would have never thought of. So as soon as we saw it, we were like, whoa, we were like, everything he showed us, we were like loved, you know? Nick and I were texting back and forth like, dude, he is killing this shit. Like this is awesome.
Like, it was just next level. It just made the brand so much better because of that.
Yeah, it was awesome. So we were really stoked on it. And it's a little out of the box, which I like. You look at it, you're like, what the hell is this? But it's at the same time, it's neat. And it does have that kind of like a cell in a manga, which is like kind of, you know, big for us since we're both huge anime fans and stuff like that. So we were like, it kind of tapped into a little personal part of my taste that he wasn't even really aware of. So I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool too.
Oh yeah,
It's perfect.
And I'm glad you guys were able to get out of like naming your EP's colors and then just doing the cover to coincide with that. Because when we chatted last time, we were like, "What's next? Like fucking green, blue." And like, there we go.
Discord is hoping purple comes next. They want the purple EP.
Yeah, our Discord, our Discord channel definitely is big on the purple EP. Yeah. But it's funny because just the way that we have to do songs now, you have to create singles so fast. Sometimes you don't really know if there's going to be like an overall message or like an overarching harmony between songs. So the colors was a little bit of an easy way to make sure that we're just talking about like, what's my overall feeling at that time? If I could give my feeling a color, what is it? And it was just kind of an easy way. But I think like as the way that we're doing songs now, it's a little bit slower, but it's a lot better. Like the quality is better, the time that we get to spend on it is better. The experience that we have making the songs is better. Mm-hmm. And they kind of have like a little bit more direct emotion rather than me kind of trying to like work something up, like I can just I can speak a little bit more plainly rather than being as figurative as I've had to be in the past. And the greatest part about these songs is that Nick and I have gotten to write them together in person. We've carved out a lot more time to sit in a room and really hatch stuff out in a way that we had gotten away from. Mm-hmm. It's because of work and schedules and COVID and, whatever other reasons we had, which has been great because we've really connected again as best friends and, gotten to spend a lot more time together. And I think that's been, out of all of the things that we've had happen with these songs, I think that's been like the most fun for me is that we kind of have this new, not new, but this reestablished kind of connection. And we're really enjoying working together again, which is awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait every day that, because like we get together like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today we had a Monday, we squeeze in a day, and it's like really great to be able to just like zip down, sit in the studio, pull up an idea, and then just like make something as quick as we can instrumentally. Yeah. And then you sit there and it's like for forever, I had never been, we were talking about the other day, I had never been in the room with you at this stage of the songwriting process. Yeah. And I'm like, this dude just doesn't sing out loud. He's in his head with his melody creation. And all of a sudden he just sings this beautiful melody. I'm like, where did that come from? I didn't hear anything,
I'm dialing it in.
He is
in my brain.
Like I can't tell if he's bored. He's like on his phone, but he's like actually looking up lyric, like, I'm like, this is
rhymezone.com.
Rhymezone.com.
Any songwriter, rhymezone.com. It's amazing.
Rhymezone.com.
Yeah. So it's cool for me to see all that. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
So can you tell us a little about your writing process for this EP?
Yeah, so I tapped into that a little bit, but so in the past, what Nick and I had been doing is Nick will come up with a bunch of instrumental concepts and he'll put them in Dropbox, and then he would send them to me and I would go through them and I'd be like, "Oh, I like this one," and I'd write something to it, and he'd be like, "I don't think I like that," and I'd be like, "Cool, it's been 3 weeks and we got nothing done."
Oh, wow.
Most accurate statement ever.
That's pretty much how we would do it.
Pretty much it.
And when we started working with Dwight, who was the producer and helped us write some of the stuff on this last record, he kind of was just like, "What are you guys doing? Like you got to sit in a room together and like get on this. You got to make time and like make it work." Yep. And we were kind of like, "Okay, that's what we got to do." So we stepped out of the realm of doing everything virtually, like through a computer, and started getting back in the room together. And instead of going for like, I think the biggest change in the process to me was instead of just trying to get something done and I was trying to create these things that were so like perfect. Like I needed every song to like encapsulate every ounce of my being. Mm-hmm. And now what we do is like, we're like, let's make 16 ideas. And then we'll let Dwight pick a couple that he likes, and we'll tell him which ones we're like, we got to do this one. We love this one. Mm-hmm. And then we'll get in a room and finish them off, And so the writing process has changed because now Nick and I are carving out time, sitting in a room, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 hours, just sitting there with a beat on loop, just listening and trying to, I'm singing a little ditty. What's up with that? Do you like it? And then, like kind of going back and forth like that. And but we're doing it in the room together in a way that we haven't done in a long time, probably since Black.
Yeah. And the mindset is different now too. Like if you were to describe our mindset before, it was scarcity. I would say. And Brent, we've talked about this before. And basically it's like, you know, he said the 3-week thing, right? It's like Nick has this amount of things that he kind of cranked out, and Brent spent this amount of time. And it's like, well, we're coming down to a crunch here, and like we have to put a song out. So it has to happen, you know? So it's like a lot gets sacrificed in that respect. And if anything, like what I'm learning, there's no convenience in music. You're fooling yourself if you think that using technology to kind of like cut around, you know, the physical presence and like, you know, the collaboration, you know, the eureka, the moment where I thought he said something, but now that's the lyric, or I play the thing on the guitar and that's now his melody, or I change the key and that's, you know, because it's like, it's immediate satisfaction. That sounds so dumb because like, hello, you get together in a room.
Obviously.
Song, right?
Yeah.
But it started out of convenience for us and then became the method.
Necessity.
Yeah. And it was just like, it was just really bad. And we don't
Nick worked 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and I worked 12 to 9, like Wednesday to Sunday.
Oh, wow.
It was like, impossible. When the hell are we going to do this? Yeah. So Nick had to lose a job. I had to lose a couple jobs, you know, and then we just were like, from here on out, we're building whatever jobs we have, those jobs have to fit around the music schedule rather than the other way around. I think that's the biggest thing that changed in this writing process, is just making more time, being more available for our music, and spending more time in a room together than we've been able to in the past. Yeah. You know, unfortunately, we're like, you know, we're not two rich kids, you know, we got to have jobs and work and provide for ourselves in a way that, and that a lot of, I say one of a game I learned from somebody else, I'm stealing this bit, but a fun game is to go on Wikipedia and search a musician's name and see if their parents are blue links in there, and, you know, and a lot of times you'll see their parents are powerful entertainment attorneys or other actors or actresses or musicians or, you know, whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, they're super rich. That's how they did this. So that's always a challenge, but we've decided to say we don't care, and we just have to get in a room together and write music. And that's what's been a lot different about these last couple songs.
Hell yeah.
Oh, happy for you guys. You guys are killing it. You guys are killing it.
We talk too much. It's the worst, right?
No. It's fine. It's a podcast. You're supposed to talk.
I guess that's my job here, but I feel like you guys are supposed to talk, and I'm just supposed to ask
questions. Yeah,
we listen. So you're doing great.
All right. I want to make sure I'm not, you know, crowding you guys out of your own podcast here.
No, absolutely not.
We just talked for an hour, like 30 minutes ago. We're good.
That's true. I've listened. I know the formula. I know you guys talk, and then there's a thing, and then you talk. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I've listened. I know how it goes. Okay. Yeah. Right. Just guilty conscience on my part, you know.
Fair enough.
You're fine. So I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this EP and the meaning behind it.
Ooh, Nick, I know. You go first. I know what yours is going to be.
What do you think it's going to be?
Wave your banner, get your gun. Everyday Oblivion. No, that's mine. So you go first then.
Okay. Learning to love the lie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know why?
I do, but you can explain.
So, in Change Me, there's a line where he says, "Learning to love the lie." It's in the chorus, right? Yeah, it's in the chorus. And that was like just a complete, like, what would you call it? Happy accident, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brent was riffing out the chorus. He had some semblance of some sentence structure, but like one of the parts, he was just like, like that type of thing. And then the producer, Dwight, was like, yeah, what was that line you said? Learn to love the lie. And Brent's like, that's not what I said, but that line is cool. But like became a part of the chorus and like just made sense. So
when I'm writing melodies, I'll sing with like the vowel sound that I think will fit good in that, you know, certain notes you sing and in your voice will it'll have like a better timbre with like certain vowel sounds. And I was just like, la 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 la. And he was like, what, that learning to love the lie, keep that. I'm like, that's not what I said, but cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And just because of that, that's my favorite lyric.
Okay. Yeah. It was a cool moment because you've never really seen me do that way. No. So again, Nick's not always in the room when I'm writing lyrics and vocals. So it's, again,
I'm there when we record them. I see the final product, but never like at the genesis of it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh. I think I would probably have to say that mine is a wave your banner, get your gun, everyday Oblivion line, because I just thought it was like a smart way to talk about like, you know, if anybody who reads my Twitter, I'm like a pretty political person, but that can obviously be fairly divisive. And I didn't want the song to become too much about that. I wanted to be more about like my feeling, and rather than like the state of the way I see things. And I thought it was a clever way to bring in like politics and this like this, you know, infighting and this like team picking that we have going on in our culture right now, where it's like, I'm on the red team and like I'm on the blue team, so I hate you, you know. And like I thought it was a clever way to kind of to bring up that political end of it without like having to become divisive about it. And I was proud of that.
Okay, I like that.
That's perfect. Yeah.
So where was your headspace at while you guys were writing the CP? I know you kind of touched on it earlier on. You're welcome to go more in depth though.
I think my whole mindset was all bets are off. Like, we're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And we're just like starting from scratch. Like, we're getting rid of everything. No expectation. No, like, we got to do this because this is what we do. My mindset was like a fresh start. You know, I think that we had taken Eight Graves as a project. We had taken it as far as we could without trying new things, without getting a little input and help, which I think is something that, you know, me as a person, I've always historically struggled with. I'm not good at saying like, hey, I could use a hand, you know? And I think that I needed that. I think we needed that. So to me, my whole mindset going into it was nothing is off limits. Nothing is off the table. Everything is fair game. And I'm only going to make like something that I'm inspired to make at this moment. And everything else that we've done, everything else that we've chased, whatever has succeeded for us or has not succeeded for us is out of my head. And I'm just going for it now.
I share the same mindset. Like, really the last part, like, I don't care. I stopped thinking about what would other people think about this song. And I just said, what do I think about this song? And kind of like relying on my own taste and my instincts and not thinking I have to do something just because I need to check off a box. And that, I think, fully transformed into, what does a song need to become? Just make the song what it needs to be. Don't make it something it's not, right?
Yeah.
And also understanding when, and also I say it now a lot with Brent, like, songwriting is like fishing. You show up and you have a good time and it's meditative, and sometimes you get a song and sometimes you don't, you know?
And sometimes something bites and sometimes
something bites, it bites, you catch a fish. But yeah, so all of that, just to kind of understanding the relationship between songwriting and expectations and just like going with your gut and like actually being creative and being confident in that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's restored my confidence.
and when Nick says that, he like really means it, you know, like I had to force myself into that mindset. Because even after, I think like one of the first days we had gotten together, we came up with 3 ideas and one of them was Cold Shoulder. And I was like, damn, that's like a really good song, but we can't do that. You know, like that's like too poppy. Like, you know, our the people that follow us, our supporters aren't going to like it. Like, they're not like, they're expecting like this gritty, you know, harmonic minor, like there's no drop. Where's the drop gonna go? You know, like,
yeah.
And, you know, that's like how I felt. And even after I wrote it and I was like, damn, like I left that day and I was like singing it like, that's like real good, you know, but I was like, we can't, but we're not going to do that, you know? And it took me a while to accept like, dude, just, if you like it, just do it. And it's cool. And it's funny because you kind of get that stereotype of like, well, it's poppier in a way, it's more pop sensible. So it doesn't mean anything, right? Like pop music is meaningless and it's all, you know, bubblegum and, you know, what's that, watermelon lemonade, whatever the hell, I don't even know what I'm talking about. What is that? Who is that? Harry Styles? Who is that?
Watermelon sugar high?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Who is that? That's
Harry
a hell of a
Styles.
song.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
Harry
That
Styles.
song
Yeah.
fucking bangs.
It
that is
bangs.
a banger.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
But that's what's funny is like, you know, somebody listens to that song and, you know, people who are from the alt world, or particularly, you know, people who listen to metal or experimental music, will always be like, that, like, you know, bullshit. And it's like, dude,
you sound like me.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I sound like. Half the time, that's what I sound like.
Don't be that guy.
Come on, Shane.
I am unfortunately that guy sometimes. Like, this sucks. This means fucking nothing. Like,
and it's funny because, dude, we are so lucky that if you go on our YouTube channel and you look through the comments, for every 17,000 comments we get, there's one person that'll be like, this
not
sucks.
my thing. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
It's like, why'd you even say anything?
No, which is fine. No, which is fine. Everybody is welcome to express their opinion. But,
unless it's negative. Keep it to yourself.
I got feelings.
Exactly.
Okay?
Come on.
I'm sensitive. But it's like, it's the people that support us have never given me any reason to believe that they wouldn't be on, have our backs 100%. But it's your own insecurity that you fight. It's your own. Are people going to look at me differently if I do something like this? And then, you get in the studio and you do it and you listen back to it and you're like, sheesh.
Yeah.
Like this is, and that's literally what we were doing on the couch, sheeshing. And
of course.
Yeah,
100%. And I'm like, this is sick. And like anybody who tried to tell me that like this song isn't good, I'd be like, I don't know, man. I think it's kind of good. So
kind of bangs.
Yeah. So Nick had that. Nick is very, very, he moved into that space of being like, we're doing whatever. I think a little bit easier than I did. And I was thankful that he was able to, kind of bring me along and, support me into it. And yeah, bro, and he was able to like help me get myself there where I was like, dude, stop thinking so much and just do what comes naturally to you. And it just worked out,
Oh yeah.
It's awesome. I'm really happy for you guys because I know that that's probably hard to just kind of get past that block of, oh God, what will they think of this? To then just finally be like, you know what? I don't care. This sounds good to me. Take it or leave it. And
you guys, you're going to go through that too. We've seen how much you guys have grown and how much you're, this thing that you're making is becoming something. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because there's a freedom in the initial failure or feelings of failure where you're like, well, we don't even have anything yet. There's no pressure. Mm-hmm. And the second that you start to get even a little taste of success, you're like, oh God, it's like you're starting a fire. You ever watching those survival shows where they're like trying to start a fire and it's like 8 hours later and they have like this tiny little ember and they're like, please don't go out. Please don't go out. Please.
Yeah.
And that's like, I think kind of how you feel with your projects. It's like, God, we got this much success. And what if we do something different and we kill it?
Yeah.
We do something different and all of a sudden, like everybody that supported us, all the people that we've been able to get under the tent just are like, well, we're out. This sucks. We're gone.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'll watch like, when I love like cooking shows.
Me too.
I love cooking shows. I love to cook. But like I'll watch like Restaurant Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay and he'll be like, all right, you're having an Italian restaurant. There's 17,000 other Italian restaurants in 3 blocks. So we're going to turn this into a steakhouse. And the guy will be like, a steakhouse? You're crazy. That'll never work, Yeah. And he's like, we're going to lose the customers that we do have. And they're like, dude, you called me because you're $150 million in debt. And they're like,
exactly.
I don't care. It's funny. Like you don't, you have to have, you have to be a little fearless sometimes in that creative process. And I think,
totally.
Definitely we've been able to overcome a lot of our own mentalities and a lot of our own insecurities and kind of our own blockades that we make for ourselves. And I think for most people trying to do something cool, I think that's probably the biggest thing for most people is to get past yourself and the doubt and things like that. So I'm just happy that we were able to do it and continue. And we're hopefully going to be able to keep doing that,
Hell yeah.
For sure. Oh my God. Okay. So how do you guys recommend your fans to listen to this EP for the first time? Should they play it in the car with friends? Should they play it in the dark with headphones on? Should they work out to it? What do you guys personally recommend?
Oh, Nick, you have to answer that, Brent. You have to answer from the sonic standpoint first, Nick.
That is a good freaking question.
Thank you.
Because I want as many people as possible to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think music is awesome when you can. That's what I would say. I would say listen by yourself. Listen with a nice pair of headphones. If you're wearing cheap headphones, I hate you because you're not going to listen to the mix. You did all this work and
Nick did all this sound design work.
It's trebly. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's like it's Nick for Nick. That's like he served you a really, really awesome steak and you put ketchup on it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh no.
That's what
or you
that's
ask
like
for a
Nick.
well done. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
But just get into the headspace. Let it fade out with the last song, Everyday Oblivion. I want you to love it. I want you to listen to it a bunch and tell your friends and then listen to it with them.
Yeah.
And see what happens. Because I think music is best written in the same room and also listen in the same room as other people. Mm-hmm. I think it's the, two sides of the same coin. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
So my vocal coach, when I would ask her about how do I know if people are digging my performance when I'm on stage, right? Because I'd be like, no one was like really rocking out. Some people were just kind of like, standing there. Mm-hmm. And she would always tell me, you don't get to determine how other people prefer to experience your music. So for me, I would say, I won't tell you where to listen to it, but what I will say is listen somewhere where you're comfortable and you can really pay attention to what I'm feeling and what I'm trying to say. Because I think that if you dig a little past this very like kind of shiny veneer that we've been able to put on it, this very, I always like to say it's like a very, it's a dark message in a pretty package. I think there's like a lot of the same kind of pain and that a little bit of darkness that's in a lot of my lyrics is still in there, but you're going to have to really listen to what I'm trying to say to get to it. So I would say wherever you want to listen to, that's fine, but just listen to it in a place where you can kind of focus on what I'm actually trying to say, because I would really appreciate that.
with really nice headphones. Yeah.
Of course.
On beautiful headphones.
Mm-hmm.
So for this question,
It's
went
okay,
right
it's
to the
okay, it's
end
okay.
there.
Okay.
So this question will be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less. Both of you have to do it.
Oh, 3 words.
Can you repeat the question?
3 words.
He wants time to think. He's cheating.
3 words to describe the EP as fast as you can.
Okay.
I would say emotional, fun,
Okay.
and personal. I would say it's that would be my 3 words.
Okay.
It's perfect.
I would say professional.
Okay.
I knew you were going to say that. I was going to steal that from you.
Inspiring.
Okay.
What's a word for variable? Like variety. Variety.
Okay.
Eclectic.
Eclectic. Boom. There you
Eclectic.
go. That's the word.
Very good.
Perfect.
Eclectic.
Sorry, I was slow, but there you go.
Perfect. All right. So is there a certain feeling or emotion you want this EP to invoke in your listeners?
Whatever they want. I think in the past, I was really worried about trying to get across very clearly how I felt. And I thought I was going to do that by getting like weird and saying things that were cryptic that had to really make you think. And it's funny because we've all had experiences in our regular personal lives where we do like the telephone game, right? Like drama at work, because I said this to this person and then they said this to this person. And it's like, dude, all I said was like, Nick and I had a really bad shift last night. And now 5 people later, it's they hate me, you know?
Yeah.
Or I hate them. It's like people can take very simple messages and put a lot of their own meaning into them. And instead, I was trying to do something that I think was a little bit too heady to try to get exactly what I was feeling across, not recognizing like what I really want people to do is play the telephone game with it. Hear what I said, take a simple line or two, process it in their own brain and be like, this is what it makes me feel. So I don't have a preference of which feeling someone picks, as long as they feel something and they feel it a lot, that's kind of my approach to it. Feel whatever you want, but I hope a lot of it. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I would just say like for it to be relatable, like just like what Brent said, one of the things I do like a lot is like it does also transcend like people interpreting it like generally lyrics would maybe like make you feel a feeling or remind you of a feeling or replace or describe how you're feeling at the moment and finally putting words to that emotion. But I find, especially in Discord, we get all walks of life there. And it inspires people to express themselves more than just connecting lyrically. They'll have people write stories based on what the art looks like, or they'll make art based on what they think the lyrics mean, So like it's all kinds of things. So you can never really tell people what to expect. And what I've learned, is that the song is ours right up until it gets mastered. And once released, it's no longer ours. Mm-hmm. Like we had it for the period of time that it took for us to make it what we wanted it to be. And then now it's everybody else's, and they do with it what they will, They'll make a dance video to it. They'll draw some picture to it. They'll start a band together. We got 2 guys that got matching 8 Graves tattoos. They have a band.
Oh my God!
Wow. Our music. It's incredible. Yeah. It's absolutely incredible.
So cool.
Yeah, it's insane to think about.
Yeah, it really is.
I think that's something we owe to them a little bit too. Our Discord channel is really great, and they definitely have shown us a lot about what it means to give the songs to somebody and let them do what they will with them. And that's scary sometimes.
It is. It's uncomfortable a little bit, honestly. Yeah.
But they have given us no reason to do anything but trust them with it. And we're really, really grateful to all of them. They're all a bunch of amazing people, for sure.
Oh yeah. It's so cool that you guys have built a community like that, especially since most bands and artists and labels and stuff haven't really embraced Discord yet.
Mm-mm.
Like
I don't know how
they're behind. I don't know.
There's so much potential.
Yeah,
there really is, and I don't even like to think of it like that, because you see people doing things like, for instance, we don't really do TikTok that much, right? Mm-hmm. And
that much means we don't at all.
Yeah, we don't. But that's because that doesn't come natural to us. Like I'm not like a person that's going to be like putting up a goofy fit, and like I'm not like it's not me. Like, and look, and not everybody that does TikTok does like goofy videos. Some people find really brilliant ways to like do cool things that really show you a little bit of who they are. But that's just not a place that I feel naturally comfortable. And maybe that will change. Maybe I'll come up with a great idea, or I'll come up with, or I'll see somebody do something. I'll be like, oh, I could like do something like that. And I'll be inspired by somebody else's creativity. But there's a lot of potential there, but we have chosen so far, at least, not to engage on that platform just because we are not good at it. Mm-hmm. But Discord is a place that we feel really comfortable. And, some of my best friends, the number one place I see them is in our Discord channel when we, get on the computer around this time every night and play League of Legends for 4 hours. And
Discord is very natural to us.
Yeah, it's where we live. And if you want to really connect with people, you invite them to where you live. And that's, we're not extending ourselves to all these things because, we want to make sure that we're not doing that because, there's just like a potentiality there. Mm-hmm. I hope that artists who aren't doing it are choosing to not do it because they either don't feel comfortable there and because I think that's a huge thing that I think we have to start standing up for as artists and as people in general is like, I told these guys, I told Nick and I told our manager, Mike, I was like, 2022, no more Facebook. Mm-hmm. I'm done. I don't like it. I think they're evil. I don't want to participate in it anymore. And if that means we don't get to regularly communicate with a handful of people, I don't care. I don't like it. I don't like having it on my phone. I don't like having any of their apps. I think they're weirdos. I think Zuckerberg is a lizard person. I'm not like, I don't want to have anything to do with the Facebook app. And not really a lizard person. I'm not one of those crazy people. But I'm only going to live, and I think all creative people, they should live, and all people in general, you should live where you're comfortable. And, Discord has been really great for us. So we love being there and we love the people that we've collected as part of our community. And it's just like a really great place to be.
Hell yeah. I do have a point to make, but before I make it, there's a massive wind and rainstorm going on outside. My power just flickered. So if I die, that's why.
Should I start recording on Zoom?
Okay.
Where's
and then
the button?
The point that I was going to make, you guys had said like it's normal, it's convenient, it's comfortable for you guys, and I think that's part of the reason why most people haven't embraced it yet. Because I somehow wound up in a call with a major label marketing team and was like trying to show them how Discord worked, and they never embraced it after that call. I forgot
about that.
Because they just they didn't quite understand it. Like I tried my best to explain to them, and they just didn't know what the fuck was going on.
No.
So
and it's funny because I'm like that a little bit because I'm very like boomery with technology. Nick is brilliant with computers and he understands how everything works. Thank God, because I don't know my ass from my elbow when it comes to that stuff. But like he's great, and so he tries to explain stuff to me sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know, man. But you know, Discord did kind of come a little bit natural to me. But I think that's important. You know, you got to you got to live where you're comfortable and do what you're comfortable with. I think there's all this pressure on artists to like, all right, so you get TikTok, you post 3 times a day, then you get your Instagram, you post 5 times a day, you tweet 10 times a day. It's like, dude, what am I going to say 26 times in one day? Like, I don't speak to Nick that much, you know, like
the algorithms, man, you got to feed them.
I know, dude, you can't live for that because look, you build your community on that. And then look what Instagram has done, right? Instagram was the spot. Now they've changed the algorithm and I see
sucks.
It's the worst. It's 2 of my friends posts and then like a blankets with dogs' faces on them or something. Like I'm like,
literally,
it's useless.
Yeah. We were just talking about that earlier, where it's just like everybody's just up in the ads. It's like Twitter now is getting on that train. It's just like now, even in the comments, you're getting like 2-3 ads every 5, replies. It's so annoying because it's like I understand it's a free app. And if it's free, apparently you're the product, but it's just like, come on, can you make it a bit more subtle?
Yeah. And also like they're selling the market research too, right? Like how much money do you need to make? You know, like is $100 billion not enough for you? You got to like push it even more. Like, why don't you just cut your profits to 50 billion and that'll be enough and make your app not dog shit.
Yeah,
exactly.
Here's an idea.
Yeah.
But everybody pushes it to the limit and then it dies and they'll build something new. So that's the thing. Like you build your career on this like one platform or whatever, and then it's gone. And then what do you do? Then it becomes, those guys and gals and everything in between who had 1 million Instagram followers and thought that was the key to their career. And now Instagram's going to be dead. You know? I don't know what you do now.
Yeah.
Vine all over again.
Hope you can.
It's going down like Facebook did. So
and I think Vine is an excellent point because how many huge celebrities on Vine were able to really turn that massive Vine following into a career afterwards?
Yeah.
Have we seen any of them?
I know like 3. But
I was going to say there's like 4 or 5 people that I can think of, and that's like it. So I think this idea that you're going to build base your career on a platform that may or may not be there in 3 years.
That transcends the platform.
Yeah. You have to get past
by
that.
the platform. Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, you're not going to peak at Instagram.
100%. And that's why Discord, I think, again, for us and Twitch for us, when I'm hoping to get back to streaming a little bit more regularly, but that's why that works because we're connecting to people directly there. I know these people. I know, I knew when Chrono had finals and I knew that he worked at a haunted house. And I know when Moonlight Hamster does a drawing for us or a little cartoon or did cool merch designs for us or, that they wanted to show us or, I know when I met Wolf in DC and he came out to the show, we know who these people are and that's what works for us. I want to know people. I don't want like just their clicks and likes and, I want to meet the people who support us. Otherwise, what's the point? The point is to connect, right?
Yeah.
And a number of likes under my picture is not a connection to me.
Yeah, fair enough.
You guys are based. Good job.
Yeah,
doing great.
It's not going to catch on.
It's going to catch on.
You know what it is, Gloria, is that I'm old. And what it is, a lot of the social media stuff just doesn't make sense to me. And sometimes I am very grateful for that. Oftentimes I'm very grateful for that.
So I had down of asking. No, fuck.
Yeah.
No.
The V8's got you.
Dude.
Fucked up.
I'm sorry.
It's worn off though. I'm not shaking anymore. My heart's not like pounding out of my chest now, so I'm good.
I said drink it in the morning.
Yeah, that's like the new slogan. V8, make your heart slam out of your chest.
Perfect. The V8 engine, man. I got 23 more upstairs. It's got me fucked up. Yeah, V8 engine. There we go. So for this last question, boom, you're on a desert island. You can bring one movie, one person, and one album. Who and what are you bringing?
Movie, person, album.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does the person have to be alive?
No.
No.
You're bringing a ghost?
I was going to say my grandmother.
Oh, you are too cute, dude. Wow.
That's nice. I like that.
That's adorable. All right, so you got your grandmother. What do you got to bring?
The movies are
movie
easy. The first Matrix and the Matrix soundtrack. I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good.
the first Matrix is so good.
You're going to watch that? You're going to watch the Matrix with your grandma?
It doesn't have to be like I'm in purgatory with my grandma watching Matrix until sun up, sun. No,
like you guys are on an island. Like you can go your separate ways and like meet up for dinner. Like
you'll have her hut.
All right, okay.
Excuse me. There you go.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, my grandma wasn't as cool as Nick, so it's not. That's why I'm so averse to the idea. I think I would be in hot water if I didn't say I would bring my girlfriend to a desert island. She's been telling me she wants to go on an island. She's like, I don't care where we go on our next vacation, but can it be on an island? So
well, you're
there
about
you
to
go.
there
we go. We're gonna be. I'll be like, hey, you want to go on an island? We're stuck here now. So I would bring my girlfriend. Album though, it's hard for me.
Remember, she's got to listen to it too. So.
Oh, we're good.
Okay,
we're good. Our musical tastes align pretty well. She actually likes heavier music than I do.
Okay.
But we still have a couple of ones in the middle ground. But I think I would bring my girlfriend. I would probably bring. God, I don't know. Do I just use my album of 2021 as a la Spotify Wrapped and just say I would bring the new Death from Above record, which I don't even. It's called Is for Lovers. Death from Above is my favorite band. They're like amazing. So I'd probably bring their new record. And movie wise, again, I think I'd bring Nightmare Before Christmas.
I've never seen that movie.
You should watch it, Gloria. You'd like it. There's awesome music in it. Is like the biggest thing. It's all done by this dude Danny Elfman, who's like a huge like musical genius, human person. And I haven't heard
the Simpsons theme song too, right?
Dude, yeah. He's done a ton of stuff, but he's really interesting because he orchestrates whole instrumental arrangements, but he does it all with his voice. So he'll do like back session and he'll be like piccolo, and then it'll be like violin, right? Like he'll sing all of the parts with his voice because he doesn't, and that's how he orchestrates music. It's pretty crazy, but cool characters, nice and morbid cuteness, which is kind of my thing, and excellent music. So I would probably bring Night Before Christmas.
All right,
perfect.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Wow, what do we have to plug?
You got to plug those socials. Oh, documentary.
Yeah, but what?
Oh yeah.
Spilled the beans. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. You can spill the beans. Go ahead, Nick. Do it.
Well, I already did. That's it. We have a documentary.
Talk about it a little.
Well, the documentary will be very raw and funny at the same time. It'll be a little bit like this podcast where it talks about like where a headspace was and kind of like in the room with us cutting the tracks. Some of the tension that was created between, certain personalities, Brent and myself. And then also
there's only two people in the band. It's not a secret.
And, it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait for everyone to watch it. I don't know. Is there anything you want to add about that? Or
it was our first time getting to go to like a real studio, and all the music that we've ever made for going on 18 years has been in like our bedrooms, or like in somebody's mom's basement, or like in somebody's mom's dining room, or where else have we done records? In the upstairs of your father's house in a closet.
Basement and the closet,
all over the place. So this is our first time getting to go and do a real record, and we just wanted to kind of have a nice documentation of the process, and it'll be nostalgic for me to watch in years down the line for sure. So it was really, we created as much for us, but if anybody's interested in what it's like to go into that process for the first time, I think if you are a fan of music or if you're a musician, I think you'll find it interesting, even beyond whether or not you're really interested in us or our music.
It also has an original musical score as well.
Oh, and who did that, Nicholas?
Me.
Yeah, he scored a documentary.
Okay, add that onto the resume right there.
So we have that
Grammy. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Continue.
We should. That would be great. That'd be great. Nick wouldn't mind a Grammy. So we have that coming up. We go back to the studio that we worked with for Everyday Oblivion. I think Dwight calls it Matchbox Studios, right?
Matchbox, yeah.
Matchbox Studios in Austin, Texas, to do another couple songs we leave on my birthday on January 3rd. So we'll have those new songs coming. And then of course, follow us on everything on Instagram. We are now at 8 Graves. We got our official tag.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Twitter at 8Graves_. And then join our Discord channel. That's a big one for us because we talk to people in our Discord all the time, and that's we all of the stuff that happens with us. That's where it is always announced first, for sure. And also, we just did also limited edition merchandise for the Everyday Oblivion EP, which is really cool stuff, really well made. And we did 50 shirts, 50 hoodies. That's it. And they're a little more than halfway gone now. But if anybody hears this anytime soon, there may be a couple left if they're interested.
Just would like to amend it's Matchbox Entertainment.
Okay. Oh, excuse me.
Matchbox Entertainment.
Right.
Yeah. But that's pretty much everything. New songs coming. Follow us. Pay attention. We would appreciate that. Join Discord. And maybe buy a shirt or two if you want.
Hell yeah. All right.
For sure.
Well, thank you for sound. This guy's been 8 Graves, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.